Hello everyone, my name is Grayson and welcome to episode 1 of this Let's Play of The Last Spell. Now, this is my first gameplay episode. I had on episode 0 where I talked about the game, what it's like to play, talked about the characters, the UI, the enemies, the damage types, the resistances, the equipment, all that good stuff. So definitely check out episode 0 if you don't know anything about The Last Spell. You're going to be really confused on this one. So just check that out, it should be part of the playlist. So let's move on to the first night of actual combat. So what I'm seeing here is a big old block of units, perfect for my putrid orb. So let's, looks like we gotta get a little bit closer. Unfortunately, we're in a terrible spot for this because we are 1 square off from hitting all 9 of those. Now, can I get over there? I can't vault. I could vault this one with 3 of my points. Let's vault it. I click it, vault. Now let's grab this putrid ball and just throw that right here. There we go. So, didn't do a ton of damage, but for 2 turns, they're going to take, 4 turns, they're going to take 30 damage. So, that will kill every single one of these enemies. If I just leave them alone from this point on, they will die. They also take that damage at the start of their turn. Very, very important because it helps you out immensely. Because what's going to happen at the first thing on their turn, they're going to take 30 damage and pass this threshold right here, which is going to make them lose a movement point and lose 10% damage. So this guy cannot get to Coagulation actually on his turn because he's going to lose one of his 4 movement points and only be able to move 3. So I can leave Coagulation right here and nothing can get to him. This guy's not fast enough. These ones are going to be wounded and not be able to make it. So keep that in mind. Poison is actually super useful for that reason. Is you generally poison does so much damage that you can put poison on enemies and just leave them alive. They'll run around and die over time. The downside to that is that if you leave them alive long enough, if the poison takes long enough to kill them, they might get some damage in on your characters or your defenses or get into your base and cause panic or something like that. So it's a big trade-off. A poison is basically an assured death for the zombies, but also they might cause some mayhem in the meantime. So we've used a little bit of that. I don't want to use another one of these, although you can stack the poison up, believe it or not. I could cast this again and stack more poison up on them and they would die even faster. I'm not going to do it though. What I think I'm going to do is use this basic infect action here. There we go. So I did 72 damage. We're still hitting the armor. He's got 33 armor left. Let's infect again. And let's infect one more time. Kill that one off with the armor. I'm down to 3 movement points and 1 action point. So I'm going to move to here. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit the one in the front just to slow him down even more. And we actually got a kill there. So now these ones will not be able to get to me. These ones are all dead in time, but more are going to come in. You can actually see up here, this is how long the night is going to be. So when this little moon gets to the end, that will be the last wave. And then our job is to kill every single enemy left on the board. There's no waiting out the timer on this game. You have to kill everything that appears. The faster you can kill everything in each wave, the better. So you don't get overrun in the later waves. So here we have our little roguish type. Now, I unlocked the daggers recently and actually don't really ever use them. So let me look at what these abilities are with the daggers. So we have a backstab. It does ×2 damage to an isolated target. That makes sense. We have a perforate. Actually does decent damage without the isolation. Perforate is armor piercing for 69 to 80 damage. So that's pretty nice. That'd kill off those armored guys. We can just bypass that 105 armor and go right for the 50 health. A juicy 50 health. They'll die in 1 hit from perforate. Here we have throwing daggers. These can affect, so up to range 4, targets 1, but multi-hits ×3. So I'll show you how that works. And they poison for 25 for 2 turns. And then we have our basic defense and our punch. So let's see how this works. So let's vault over this thing. Now we have a range 4, so we need to get a little bit closer. Not too close. I don't want to get killed here. So if we click on throwing daggers, actually we can get a little further because we want to hit 3 things. So if I click on throwing daggers, see how it says multi-hit ×3? So that means the first thing I click, I can actually hit 3 things with that one implementation of the attack. So Annetta has thrown 3 daggers. Now these ones here, if you look up in the top right, -1 from panic, -2 move points, -40% damage. That's all because this one has passed these little wounding thresholds. They're badly wounded. They're also taking a buttload of poison damage. They're going to take 30 poison damage per turn for 4 turns and 25 poison damage per turn for 2 turns. They don't even have enough to survive one of those, which is awesome. So this character actually has a lot of melee attacks, and I'm not going to run in and fight these guys when they're all just going to be slowly walking forward and dying from poison. So I think what I'm going to do here is actually go up to here, and then I'm going to armor up twice, just in case. So now we have 89 armor. We still have the 3 block. So now anything that gets to her, which I don't think anything even will be able to, because this one's going to lose a movement point. They'd have to chew through a lot of this like fake health first. So that's at least 2 of these hits from these crawlers at 23 to 28 damage. The wounded ones do even less. You can see these ones are doing now sub 20 damage per hit because they're so wounded. So heavily wounding but not killing off enemies is a very viable strategy in some situations because they're so useless when they're wounded. And a really fun thing I've noticed is that they're so stupid and numerous that if you damage a bunch of them in the front, they just get in the way of the ones behind them. So you can have a bunch of poisoned, slow crawlers in the front that are just body blocking all their friends in the back from getting any further, and you're just lobbing explosives into the back line, and they just can't do anything about it. It's really satisfying when you get them just impaired like this and just have your way with your explosives and your AoEs and stuff. It's really, really great. So let's get our poor one-armed Saleem over here. Now, he doesn't really need to do much. He's got kind of a short range with this pistol. He's got a grappling shot that lets him move around. Moves the hero to the tile of a killed target. So this does damage, and if he kills it, he moves into their space. So he can kind of like zip around the battlefield between things and then probably get back out. So that's a cool way to get him in, do damage with the grappling shot, and then save his movement points for getting back out, which is pretty fun. But we don't need him for right now, so we're going to go to here, and we're going to wait and see if anything spawns. Because things can spawn all along this edge. Right now they're here, but the next group likely will still be in this area, but it's possible like a flyer comes in here or a fast guy comes in over here. So you got to watch out for that. So we're actually just going to have him armor up, and we're not going to do any firing. If I had known they were going to be starting over here, you know, obviously I would have started further over here, but it's whatever. The first turn is, you know, that was a fair bit of damage just for a single attack. And I don't want to waste any more mana. So let's end the turn. It'll warn me that there's a lot of action points yet left. This is unusual to have this many action points remaining. There, so they took the poison damage. Okay, so now we got a lot of them. So, I'm going to start out with the big AoE. I really want to Beam of Death these ones. So I may fire off a ball of poison back here, like so. That used 2 of my action points. Go over to here. Let's try out this beam. That's pretty fun. Ooh, nice. Okay, so that just killed a bunch of them off. We have 2 points left. I'm probably going to use these regular attacks to save the mana. So let's just hit the one in the front. Dodge. Yeah, so you have a 5% chance to dodge. There we go. And then I'm going to... Do I need to move back? I don't. No range. No one can get to him, so we're going to stay right here. Okay, so now we have Annetta's turn. So this does the extra, like 1 billion damage to things that are isolated. Yeah, see, it's going to do that. If you look over on the right, the backstab isolation effect, that's right over here, ×2. So this attack that's supposed to do 77 to 89 is going to do at least 154 damage, which is stupid. Let's do it. Okay, now I don't want to get too much closer now, so I'm going to... what am I going to do? I think I'm going to walk up to here. I'm going to get a dagger out, and I'm going to start throwing daggers at this armored guy because it'll bypass the armor. This guy also has some poison on him. I'll put 1 more into him to make sure he dies off from it. And let's put 1 on, say, this character here in the middle. I could do that again. I have a fair amount of mana. I might go ahead and put some more daggers in there. And then let's have faster use, sir. And get to there. So let's go up to here. And then we'll just armor up once. And that was our last action point. Now Saleem here. Oh, I do want to try this out. Will this kill him? No, because he's got 100 health. I don't know if this moves him if it doesn't kill him. I'm kind of interested to find out. No. Okay, interesting. It's a cool animation. So we have a grape shot here. That's cool. Look at that. That's fun. We could go to here. Grape shot, like... There we go, like a little shotgun blast. There's 1 action point. 2 action point. I'm gonna leave that guy alive. And I'm gonna shoot... I'm actually gonna kill him. These 2 are gonna die from poison. This one has all that stupid armor, so if I shoot him, it's not gonna matter unless I get a crit. So I'm just gonna kill this one off, and then we're gonna get back here to safety. And that was our turn. Let's end turn. A bunch of deaths from the poison. More zombies coming. Looks like this was our last wave. This map is definitely easier than the other settlement I was defending before. So there's 39 enemies left. All I have to do is kill them all. There won't be any more waves of them coming in. You can see there are some back here that I can't target because they're in like the thick mist back here. But at least I can see that they're coming. So let's go ahead and lob another one of these balls of poison. A very useful ability. It's probably going to be our bread and butter with this group, is just having Gracie and poison, big clumps of them, and then leave the rest to these 2 to pick off. And this one's really good. Annetta's really good at picking off the isolated ones. And Saleem is also going to be pretty good at that because he does a fairly high amount of single target damage. He's also got that really fun grape shot, which I can't use without putting myself in danger. I could vault for 3 points, 4, 5, grape shot, 6, 7. Maybe. Move down here. I would have 3 points to move back up. Put myself in danger. I might fire one more of these. Using a lot of mana here, but I'm gonna have to. And I can upgrade their mana regen, possibly. I've used up all my action points, so I'm gonna just get him back to, say, here. I really want to throw poison daggers at the armored guys, but they're kind of out of the way right now. Isolation damage. Throw a dagger at these ones that aren't poisoned. And one more on the armor. Oh no, I already got one on the armor guy. This guy. There we go. So that one's going to die. A lot of these are taking damage here. Got 4 movement points left. I don't think I need to do anything crazy here. Yeah, I think they're in trouble. I can't reach them. This is being blocked by this signpost. You can see if I tap the pistol shot here, I can't actually hit him. It's kind of grayed out, a little attack symbol. If I move down one more, yeah, still can't hit. Hit him now. Again, this is just going to hit his armor, though. But I think I might as well. I have so many action points. Just spread the damage out because these 2 are now going to die from poison. And then we're going to get back to here. Actually, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to go to here. There we go. So we can end turn. Yep. There are tons of damage. Some deaths. They're still bleeding out from the poison here. So they're just going to get worse and worse. They're never going to make it. At least not these ones. So now I'm to the point where I'm probably not going to spend any more mana. I'm just going to start attacking the ones that aren't poisoned. Let's have Saleem go first. Let's have him... Oh, I can grape shot, like, into this clump. Oh, that's pretty effective. Let's attack this one up in the front. We have 3 action points left. See, like, this is an interesting strategic or tactical element here, is once you've got somebody down this far in damage, like this character now does almost no damage and has only 2 movement points. So this one is just inching along doing nothing. So do I spend an action finishing this unit off, or do I spend it on something else? And it's an interesting tactical decision you have to make all the time in this game, which is really cool. Some enemies are so dangerous that if they have 1 health, you still need to spend your actions and abilities to kill them off, because you don't want them alive for a moment. But a lot of these like kind of chaff here, the fodder units, just you can just leave them alone and finish them off at your leisure. Let's kill that guy off and run back. We've got armored guys over here, so I'm going to try to make my way over there. What's the range on this? Can get 1. Yeah, I'd like to, maybe I'll save my mana. So let's undo that. And what I might do is kind of stab things as I go. And then I'm going to go up to here, and I'm going to armor up twice. And I'm going to stay here because these ones may be able to, some of these may be able to get to me. Actually, I don't think they will. But they're not going to be able to get through her that much health, that much armor. So I'm totally safe here. I wish I could attack again, but I don't want to be in a big clump of them. That's why having defenses around is so important. Now, a lot of them are destructible. This is indestructible. This is a stockade. It does have health. The walls have health as well. So let's just, this one, oh yeah, I forgot about these symbols. So you see the sword going into the skull here? That means this attack will kill this unit if it hits, because the minimum damage is enough to kill. This with the question mark means that because there's a little bit of a variance in the damage you deal, this may or may not kill this unit. So keep that in mind. There's also a symbol for if it won't kill them. This one here, just the sword. This is just going to do damage if it hits, but it will not kill them unless it's possible if you got a crit, of course, that things could be different. So let's just hit. This one took some damage from that blunderbuss shot, so let's finish him off while his armor's out. Finish this one off. And I'm going to back up a step, and I'm just going to armor up a couple of times. And you can get a quick look up here at the character portraits. We've got a lot of movement left on Coagulation. It looks like 1 action point on these 2, maybe 2. And so you can get a quick look to make sure you've used everybody, and then we're going to go ahead and end turn. The ones that are poisoned or bleeding out slowly, they will start attacking the defenses. These don't regenerate, so we do have to protect these if we want them around. So I'm probably going to kill these 2 off so they don't get to kill this thing. Oh, what should I do? Looks like I got a vault. This guy has very low armor, only 15, so we can't let him get hit at all because he's going to take like the full damage. Shoot that guy. Zip over to there. Zip over to there. And then wait here. We've got, don't have enough action points left to do anything other than the grappling shot, but I don't want to zip in closer. All right, Grecian, what are we going to do with you? Let's actually undo that. Let's start here. We have this perforation attack that goes through armor. That's amazing. These guys are such a pain in the butt early game with all that extra armor that comes back. That's really cool that I have that ability. That's going to take 2 hits. Let's perforate this guy. Get in behind this guy. Okay, now she's a little exposed. These guys might come back and attack her, so let's try to finish them off with Grecian so that doesn't happen. Alright, so that's big damage. That one's not going to be able to do much. Alright, so this one can't get anywhere. These 2 could, one of these could hit Grecian, so let's just give him a couple armor, and then we can end there. So that hit his armor. And then you can see now it's back up to full. because the armor comes back at the beginning of the turn, so you can kind of prepare again. And we could continue to use this brace ability to get our armor back up if we wanted to. But we are going to finish this one off, it looks like. So let's just let's get Saleem down here. Doesn't matter who finishes them off. We got dodge. Out of basic actions, use this one. Here we go. So their little health and mana regenerated. Another knight survived. So we killed 13 of these armored, which gave us this much experience, and 52 of the crawlers, which gave us this much experience. So we got this much experience total. People do level at slightly different rates depending on if they have bonuses. And they do, I think they may get a tiny last hit bonus. I think I may have misspoke, but it usually doesn't matter that much. I would not worry about it. I would just do the most efficient thing and just get through the night. Don't do anything stupid. So everybody leveled to 2, which is awesome. Yeah, it looks like they have a little bit different experience values. But again, that could be because I know this person gets 30% extra. You got 2 more kills, so it is possible that the last hit gave you a bonus. So we have 3 alive, no HP loss, no dead. So we got an S rank for the night. Hit continue. And this would show, this is your reward bar. So this will start here, and then depending on how far along the terror track you got, it will stop there. But we got all the way to the end, which means we get the maximum 100 gold, 100 materials, and an item. So we get to click on the gold, the materials, and the item, and that goes into our stuff, and I'll show you that. Now here's where we get our essence. This is a meta progression. So overall rating, Night 1, well, that was easy, S rank, awesome. So we got 676 for killing the enemies. I think that's how much experience we got too, so that must be worth the same value. We got 50 for a hero damaging 30 distinct enemies, so just a little bonus. Inflicted poison to 40 enemies. Inflicted negative alterations to 50 enemies. And strong momentum. Trigger the momentum skill effect after moving 5 tiles. That was a skill on one of our weapons. I don't think I talked about that, but that's a bonus. Momentum is the more tiles you've moved before you use the momentum skill, the more damage it does. So you get like a running start and then shove your dagger between their armor. I think that's what the rogue was doing. And so that's where we got all of our bonuses, so we can continue on. So now we get a little bit of a reprieve. We get a day where we can build things. We've got our gold and our materials. We've got lots of notifications, so let's go through these really quickly. One thing I want to point out, I don't know the parameters of it on this new map. Again, I haven't played this one, but this mist will encroach further and further along. So you see how the enemies were spawning out of this mist here? This will actually move up further and further. The darkness will move, and then the mist will move further and further. So the enemies will be spawning in closer to the center every night until it gets real close. And it's uncomfortable because it only takes them 1 turn of movement to get into your city walls sometimes if you're not careful. There are ways around that, but it's very weird and costly, and I'm probably not going to go into that. We can see it leaves all the corpses of everything down here, which is pretty cool. Okay, so you can see we're still getting enemies coming from this direction tonight, so we don't have to worry about a second direction yet, or a third for now, which is great. That was easy, but you notice it's because I got to put all 3 of my heroes right here, and they just beat the crap out of everything. Eventually, we're going to have enemies coming from 2 or 3 directions, and we're going to have to split our heroes up, and they're going to be in charge of 1 wall all by themselves, and it's not good. So let's take a look down our notifications. We'll just go in order, and then we'll probably call this episode to an end. So we've got level up. So first up, Annetta. So we get, these are kind of random. We get these primary attributes. So we can get, you've got common, uncommon, and sometimes you'll get rares. You can also reroll, but when you reroll, you'll get 3 choices. And if you reroll again, you'll get 1 choice. So if you don't like anything, you can reroll, but be careful because you lose choices. So do we want her to have a little bit more armor? It's only a common skill, but it's possible. I mean, that's 15 more free health every turn. She's got 39 right now. Give her more maximum mana, some damage resistance. That's not bad, and some more critical chance. Now that's a pretty tempting one as well. We will get to pick, I think we get to pick 2 of these unless they changed it. So we'll pick one that'll reset, and we pick another one. So I think I'm gonna go with the critical chance. Yeah, because she's a... Yeah, okay, so here we've got some rare ones. We've got extra momentum, which will impact her. Let's see, isolation, armor piercing, multi-hit. Who had the momentum? It must have been our shooter. Momentum, yeah. So this guy gets more damage by moving. Ah, I see. So the strategy here is to use the grappling shot to kill something, zip into where they are, and then you get bonus, basically 40% damage on your pistol shot from the momentum. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's where the momentum was. We don't want the momentum. Daily mana regen, it's not bad. She doesn't use a ton of it right now, but that's a lot of mana regen, to be honest. Poison damage, she doesn't do that much. Isolation damage, ooh, but she already does a lot, so I think I'm going to grab the mana regen. That's 6 more mana per night she could use without any consequence. Let's grab that. And now we're on to the perks. Now the perks, you can see it's a tree, so you have to, have a perk up here in order to move down to here. This was reworked recently. It used to be very, very different. So let's go ahead and just real quick look at the perks we have access to. We have here a fatality, unlocks the fatality skill, allowing to execute any enemy in melee range under 10 health. This threshold is increased by 3 for each level of the hero. So this way you don't accidentally get units down to a really irritatingly low amount of health, but they're not dead. This way you can get them down to 16 health and they just die instantly, which is pretty cool. Here we have Harvester. Every 3 enemies killed gives you +1 daily mana regen. This modifier is reset every morning. It's okay. So if you kill a bunch of enemies in the night, and you saw that, say, my magic guy killed 24 enemies, so that would be an extra 6 mana he would get that one night, which is pretty good, actually. So that's probably something we'll get on him so we can really spam abilities. Perseverance. Every 2 attacks from the hero dodged by at least 1 unit, restore an action point and get 5% accuracy for 2 turns. So if your little zombie friends are being annoying jerks and dodging all your attacks, you get an action point back, so you get a little bit of a refund, and then you get a little bit more accuracy. That's fantastic. Here we have Cheer, allowing a unit to buff the damage of an ally, 15% damage for 1 turn. This is actually pretty cool. It's got a 10 range, which is actually insane. So this is actually a pretty decent skill to have on, say, someone like Garacian, who would stand in the back, maybe lob a couple poison bombs and then have a point or 2 left over that they don't need for defense. You can just cheer somebody else on, make them do more damage for the rest of the night. Or for the turn, sorry. Coagulation Armor is increased by 110% of the hero's daily health regen. So right now that's +12. So here's our health regen is 11. So 125% of the health regen becomes armor. This is a fantastic skill for melee characters. She doesn't have an insane amount, but you can get more of that through the leveling up. And then you can use that to keep them really healthy. They just get basically a free big shield of health every turn. And then Potion Throw, +1 bag equipment slot, so that would be down here. And potions now have a range of 10 instead of 1. So you can buy potions, put them on units, and they can use them every night. Usually 1 time, sometimes 2 times per night. And you could do stuff like heal a little bit, or you can also heal people next to you, but now you could like throw it at somebody. And there's also potions that give you like movement points, action points, mana. I think there might have been like an invulnerability potion or invisibility potion or something I used once, which was pretty cool. So for Annetta, let's see, does she have bonus accuracy? She does not. So there's... I could see the Perseverance being useful. This isn't as valuable. This seems really nice, but she does tend to kill units off pretty well. I am tempted to give her this because I don't have another melee character. Like, somebody has to be in the front. So I think I'm going to give her this. I actually love this perk a lot. So she's up to 51. So she's got 51 health per turn that doesn't come off of her real health bar. So pretty cool. And then now next time she levels and gets a perk point, she'll have access to these ones, but we can still get these ones up here if we want. But there are some really good ones further on down the tree. So let's move on to our next character. We now have Saleem, so we can level him up. Click. We've got resistance to damage. Maybe. Range damage, 8% more range damage. That's probably going to be it. A lot of maximum health, actually. Max mana or max armor. I think we're going to go with the range damage. That's pretty big. and resistance reduction, possible. Experience gain. It's only common. I'd be tempted to take this at his very first level up, but it's only the 10%. If it was like uncommon or rare experience gain, I think I would definitely grab it. Accuracy, it's only common, but every little bit counts. I think I'm going to go with the resistance reduction. So when he's hitting enemies that have a up to 8% resistance to damage, he just ignores it. We really want him blasting things for lots of damage. So now when we go into the perk points for Saleem here, we're going to have slightly different options here. So we can see this person's perk options are actually different than the last character, Annetta. So we have a different number, we have a different kind of things to choose from here. So instead of the fatality, we have sprint, allowing you to restore move points in exchange for some health. For 10 health, no thanks. Mana growth, plus 4 mana, increased by 2 for every level of the hero. So they just have more maximum mana. Not super important on him. We have steady aim. As long as the hero didn't move during this turn, extra accuracy and skill range. That's going to be tough because he doesn't use the two-handed longer range weapons because he literally only has one hand. So I don't think that's going to be right for him because he does need to move around with his grape shot or his grappling hook and then use his abilities. So that's not going to be right. So I don't think it's any of these. He's got the potion throw. He has cheer to cheer somebody else on. And he has quick reload, allowing you to restore 1 use to all skills of the current weapon set. Uses per night 3. So 3 times per night, he could, instead of using this skill 4 times, he could use it a 5th time. I think it might be, I might give him the cheer. He's not going to be a super helpful character. He's very limited. It might be the cheer. 15% damage. Could be something you throw. Maybe give him the potion throw. I'm going to give him the potion throw, and I will buy a potion. He can start throwing that around at people. We'll do that with his one arm. And then let's move on to Gracian. So let's go ahead and level up here. We have magic damage up 8%. That's probably what I'm going to take. The rest of these are not great, except for movement. Movement's actually, it says common, but honestly, 1 point of movement can make a huge difference. But I'm going to grab magic. Stun chance, daily health regen. That's a lot of health regen. Daily mana regen up. Stun chance. I might re-roll this one. So now I only have 3 choices. They're all kind of bad. I'll take poison. Does a lot of that. And then for perk points, let's see. He's got the sprint. No thanks. Mana growth. Maybe. Steady aim. Maybe. Leapfrog. Costs less, and he can jump over enemies. No, we're trying to stay away from them anyway. Potion throw and coagulation. If we had taken that other one. Dang. Let's go with the mana growth. Give him more max mana so we have more mana to play with spells because we're going to spam those poison balls at people. So it looks like we're actually all out of time. I didn't actually expect to not get through this stuff tonight, so I apologize for that, but we will look at this in the next episode. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Please come on back for episode 2. We will talk about city building. We'll talk about building defenses like walls and crossbows, ballistas and stuff like that. Talk about shopping and how to use the workers. And then we will use our new characters. Maybe we'll get some new equipment. We'll use our new setups with our perks and stuff to defend a slightly more difficult wave. We might see some new monsters in the next one. So again, thank you for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you have not already, and I will see you in episode 2.